Good afternoon, Cross Timbers. Today is April 24th, 2017, and I'm McKenzi Jordan. Today's top stories consist of weapon disputes with Russia, Arkansas executions, and an ongoing drug war with Mexico. These stories and more coming up next on Texan TV. In campus news, we turn to Danny Hernandez for the latest.
Thanks, McKenzie. So I'm here on set at the concert hall where a percussion concert will be happening tonight at 7:30. Tickets will go on sale at 7, and crowds will be coming up to watch the percussion concert from our band play. But that's all here. Back to you.
In local news, for the 15th year running, Donnie Hill and a slew of Stephenville community residents will be taking part in the Jesus Bus Convoy with the intent of saving lives of those leaving Larry Joe Taylor Music Festival from drinking and driving. The convoy will consist of 15 buses and 30 drivers, making trips from Melody Mountain, dropping people off at their residence free of charge. The buses will run from noon to 1 a.m. on Wednesday and Thursday. Then they will kick back up at noon on Friday and run continuously until 6 a.m. Sunday. Festival goers can schedule a free ride by calling 254-300-7LJT. Donations and tips are accepted, and if money is left over, it's donated to the Christian ministries at Tarleton State University or goes into next year's fund. To make a donation, message Hill on Facebook or call him at 254-592-7931. And now today's Texas, national, and international news from the Associated Press. 2 top drug traffickers have been killed in a pre-dawn shootout Saturday with federal forces in the New Mexico border state of Tamaulipas, authorities reported. The Tamaulipas security spokesman office said the men were killed in separate confrontations, which left highways littered with burned-out vehicles. Julian Loisa Salinas, better known as Commandant Toro, was killed in a clash with Marines in Reynosa City, a city across the border from McAllen, Texas. Loisa Salinas reportedly was the Gulf Cartel's local leader in Reynosa. Authorities had tried to capture him a number of times, leading to gun battles with his gang. In early April, 2 U.S. citizens were reported wounded in one such gunfight. On Saturday, photos showed burned-out cars, trucks, and buses littering streets in Reynosa. State authorities said his supporters had set fires and tried to block roads in an unsuccessful effort to help him escape. In national news, Arkansas pushes to put 8 men to death in less than 2 weeks has so far resulted in just 1 lethal injection, and legal experts say that shows the risks of pursuing the nation's most ambitious execution schedule since the death penalty was restored in 1976. Liddell Lee was executed minutes before his death warrant was set to expire late Thursday. It was the first time since 2005 that Arkansas had put an inmate to death. 3 other planned executions were canceled this week because of court decisions. Another inmate scheduled for execution next week has received a stay, and 3 remaining lethal injections face similar hurdles. At the heart of Arkansas's plans is the sedative midazolam, one of 3 drugs used in lethal injections. The state is racing to carry out its executions before its supply of midazolam expires at the end of the month. Let's turn to AP for more footage.
By 11:44, that curtain was pulled open where we saw ADC Director Wendy Kelly was standing above inmate Lee, asking him if he had any last words. He appeared and he was just looking, staring up, blinking, was not responding. She asked him again, "Lee, do you have any last words?" And he did not comment, did not ask. And that the injection started at 11:45. That is when his eyes kind of started to drift and they were still half open. There were 2 IV bags. There was an IV in each arm. He was already laid out on the table with IVs in his arms when we arrived before they pulled that curtain there. He was strapped down. He had a white sheet on him. All we could see was his head that was also strapped and his arms, but the white sheet pretty much covered him up to here. But when the consciousness check happened, it was a little bit of shaking of the head, checking the eyelashes like this. He also touched his eyeballs and then checked his sternum, chest area, if you will, around here. The fingers remained upright the entire time. At 11:51, it was hard to see if he was still swallowing or not. By 11:54, it was still questionable whether he was still breathing or not. Another head check came and consciousness check. He listened and bent down for breathing by the nose. Then he checked with a stethoscope there, and that was around 11:55. And then he called out, and a coroner came in at 11:56 and pronounced inmate Lee deceased at 11:56. And so it took a total of 11 minutes from the time the injection started at 11:45 to when he was pronounced dead at 11:56.
I spoke to the governor shortly after the execution. He was somber. He had a message to the media in the media room, and that was that it is a somber night all across Arkansas, and that this is a responsibility he doesn't take lightly, and it's one of the most grave things he'll ever have to do. And it's a night of reflection, but in the end, we know the right thing was done tonight, and more importantly, justice for the first time since 1993 for Deborah Reese's family.
In international news, the United States must confront Russia for providing weapons to the Taliban for use against American-backed forces in Afghanistan, top U.S. military officials said Monday. At a news conference with Defense Secretary Jim Mattis at his side, General John Nicholson, the American commander in Afghanistan, wouldn't provide specifics about Russia's role in Afghanistan, but said he would not refute that Moscow's involvement, including giving weapons to the Taliban. Earlier Monday, a senior U.S. military official told reporters in Kabul that Russia was giving machine guns and other medium-weight weapons. The Taliban are using the weapons in the southern provinces, according to the official who briefed journalists on intelligence information on the condition of anonymity. For more of today's national and international news, we turn to the AP News Minute.
This is AP News Minute. France is down to 2 unconventional choices for its next president. The country's election left-centrist political newcomer Emmanuel Macron facing right-wing National Front leader Marine Le Pen in a runoff next month. North Korea is threatening all-out war with the U.S. The North Korean Foreign Ministry claims the country has a powerful nuclear deterrent and accused the U.S. of what it called madcap nuclear war provocation. A wildfire burned thousands of acres in southwest Florida, largely in Collier County. Rainfall is helping the crews contain the fire. And Coast Guard video from the Pacific shows smugglers throwing contraband out of their small boat just before a Coast Guard cutter caught up with them. Shirley Smith, The Associated Press, with AP News Minute.
In sports, the Texans dominated the Lone Star Conference Award Banquet in Frisco, Texas, bringing home 4 of the 5 first-team all-conference awards and 4 of the 5 individual awards. Casey Wild won Conference Player of the Year, Academic Player of the Year, and is an LSC first-team selection. Lydia Traylor took home a couple of awards, winning the LSC Newcomer of the Year award and the first-team All-SC. Beatrice Pradas was named first-team All-LSC for the 3rd straight season. Sarah G. won her first-team All-LSC award, and head coach Jerry Doyle has won his 10th straight Conference Coach of the Year award. For today's weather, we can expect sunny skies with a high near 79 degrees with wind gusts up to 20 miles per hour as we move into the night skies. As we move into the night, skies will be partly cloudy with a low around 59 degrees. This has been a production of Texan TV News, a product of the Texan News Service from the Tarleton State University campus in Stephenville, Texas. Watch us live on Apogee Channel 2.1 in the dorms at 12:30 weekdays. If you live off campus, tune in on Northland Cable Channel 9. You can follow the Texan News Service on Facebook and Twitter and check us out on our website at www.texannews.net for all of your latest local, state, national, and international news. Today's broadcast was produced by Sydney Burns, Rebecca Hernandez, and Danny Hernandez. Have a wonderful day, Texans.